peace, those working against peace, and unite the Congress, Senate, State Department, and other departments in Washington on daily basis to tell them the truth about Sri Lanka. We have a strong, solid diplomatic relationship with you. It is growing stronger every day, despite the propaganda and mistruth spread by the pro-LTT diaspora and the detractors of peace and unity in Sri Lanka. We thought that the best way to deal would be by inviting representatives of the US Congress to come to Sri Lanka and see for themselves the reality on the ground. We are honored that Congressman Heath Shuler from North Carolina, Congressman Ben Chandler from Kentucky, and Congressman Jack Kingston from Georgia accepted our invitation and visited Sri Lanka.
To Sri Lanka again. This is my second visit. I was here in June of 2009, and shortly after the conflict had ended, the Civil War. Remarkable how the country has grown both economically and the safety within the communities. You don't see over 2 years ago. And to be able to travel to Jaffna and to be able to visit and be in the streets and talk to the locals, to be able to talk to the opposition party leaders, to be able to have dinner with folks that have disagreements with the government, to be able to listen to their viewpoints. It's not often that you get that opportunity to be able to listen to so many different viewpoints and collectively, as have been able to recognize that this country has done such great work in such a short amount of time. I see roads that are being paved. I see houses that are being constructed. I see the economy is growing. I see safety on the streets. Those are things that you should be commended for, and that as the world should recognize that you have grown tremendously. But yet you still have a lot to do. If this is a very short time, you've made great strides. Now you have an opportunity to show the rest of the world how vigilant you can be, how great you can be as a nation, and that you will continue to succeed in the great things that this country has stood for. So it's my pleasure to be able to travel with my colleagues, to be able to see on a first-hand basis what this country has been able to do. And with that, I will turn it over to my colleague, Ben Chandler from Kentucky.
Undertaking for all of us. It's been very interesting to have an opportunity to, as Mr. Shuler said, see a lot of the changes here in one way or another. Have been impressed by what we have seen. We have been to several different parts of the country in a very short period of time. We were, of course, have been here in the capital of Colombo, but we also had the opportunity to travel to the north, to Jaffna, and see some of what was going on up there. And we spent some time in Kandy as well. Not only do you have a beautiful country, but it's apparent that really you have a tremendous future ahead of you. There's opportunity for growth, opportunity to have a great deal of economic success, and we certainly wish you well. What we want to do is make sure, to the extent possible, that a balanced picture of what has happened in the last couple of years gets out to the rest of the world. It's important that the truth is discovered, and in order to do that, I think we're all looking for balance. What this government has been able to do is really quite a remarkable achievement, in the sense that the LTTE was really known to be worldwide a terrorist organization of the first order, and this government was able to win a war against that organization. A tremendous achievement. But in the world press, we haven't heard quite as much about that achievement as we had about some of the allegations about human rights issues. Not to diminish those things, all of those issues are very important, but it's extremely important that balance is brought to the subject and that a proper picture is had by the international community, and hopefully we can be a part of bringing that balance to the situation. Thank you. And I'll turn the floor over to Mr. Jack Kingston from Georgia.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is also my first trip to Sri Lanka, and I've been very impressed with the things that we've had. We've had a very busy. I wanted to talk about two meetings in particular, which meant a lot to me. The first one was with Major General Mrs. Sue Kumar in Jaffna, and in both of those discussions, we talked about your rehabilitation efforts, rebuilding roads, houses, the demining operations, agriculture, rebuilding schools, education, the fishing industry, and the tourist industry, and the potential for more growth when your population had been decreased substantially, yet people are starting to move back. I think it's a remarkable story and an investment in your future and your optimism, which the rest of the world needs to know about. So I think that what we will do as we go back to Washington, D.C. is be part of the ambassadors telling the story and very positive things that you are doing. The United States and Sri Lanka has had a long and very positive relationship, and I think there's more to come. I actually live in Savannah, Georgia. We directly import goods from Sri Lanka. They don't go through any platform country. They come straight to Savannah. And so we're looking to grow that. I know other American industries are locating here more and more. I think there should be some great economic opportunity for both nations. I'm working with you in terms of global issues and disasters, natural disasters, if we can get together and help each other out, and then also in the military issues. And I serve on the military committee, and so I think there's a lot of things that we can start working on together. But it's important for you to know that I'm in the opposite party from Mr. Schuler and Mr. Chandler. And often Democrats and Republicans don't agree on things, but I think that we're all here together to show you that we do agree on Sri Lanka and the future between our two countries. Thank you.